So you want to first determine direction. So when you established your support, and then you've established your resistance. So this is your high, this is your low. Once you establish that, you want to see what direction is the market doing. Currently, is consolidation as far as the daily chart is concerned, but it was actually in an uptrend. So
Right.
when you're dropping your fib retracement, you want to, for a buy, you want to start at the bottom. So you want to start where your support is, and then you want to go up to your resistance, like that.
On a buy, you want to start at the bottom and go up.
Yes, because you buy low and you sell high. So then after I have my fib on, then what I do is I drop a horizontal line.
Did you change any of the numbers in the fib?
I eliminated some numbers, and I can show you those too.
Because I know I played with this one time. I think Mr. Terry did a class on fibs, and he changed a lot of the numbers.
You can do that. So on your trading view, you just come up here to the little settings wheel, click on it.
Okay, I'm on my phone, so I'm shrinking and expanding, trying to see what you're doing. Okay, so on the settings.
Yep, you click on the little wheel, and then you can go to style. Like I have all mine gray. My line's gray except for my 0.382. I removed my 1.618. Anything after the number 1, I removed those. And then I have my fib set at reverse. Don't ask me why, but that's the way I was taught. And
I was just going to ask you why.
That's just the way I was taught, and I've gotten so used to looking at it that way that when I see it the other way, it looks weird.
Yeah, you were talking about that a couple days ago, and I was listening to you with Anthony when I was in the car, so I couldn't really watch what you were doing, but I was listening to you, and I think he asked you why you had them reversed.
Yeah, I have no idea. The person who taught me about fibs, that's how theirs were set up, and I just did the same thing, and I've gotten so used to looking at. I mean, it doesn't really do much when you take it off of reverse, other than that the 0.382 is at the top. So instead of dropping a buy from the low to the high, you would drop it from the high to the low. But that's not really how you want to do it, because you want it to make sense. You want to buy at the bottom and sell at the top. So after I got my 0.382 established or whatnot, after I have that.
What is the significance of the 0.382?
So the 0.382 is what they call a seat at the banker's table. Basically, you want to get in when the bankers get in versus getting in with the retail traders, which is going to be around your 50, your 50% mark, and your 0.618. So if you look at it, the bankers, they're in here. We're waiting to get in as retail traders. We're waiting to get in at the 0.5 or the 0.618. So we're getting in after them. So we already know that 50% mark, once a trade or a candle hits the 50% mark, it needs to break the 50% mark to get to the 0.618. It needs to break 0.618 to get down to the, on your MT4, it's going to be 0. To get down to the 0. So if you get in here, of course, you're going to get more pips. But if you're in when you're supposed to be in, like you're not on a pullback, or you're not, you know, or if you're holding a trade, you're looking at the 0.382 and saying, okay, if it breaks the 0.382 and it meets all of my requirements for my checklist, then you should be good to go to at least the 50, if not the 50, the 61, if not the 61, then all the way down to the 0.
Okay.
Okay. So I drop a dashed line on my 0.382, so I'll know. Then I just take the fib off.
Okay.
Where is it? There you go. So you use your daily chart for direction. And then I label what my 0.382 was, and that was a 0.7081. And it is bullish. So then I drop down to the 4-hour chart. And I do the exact same thing. I want to use the red because burgundy was for daily. Red I use for the 4-hour chart. I guess not. Thicker. And so the same thing. I'm going to mark my support right here because it changed directions right here and went up. And then I'm going to come here.
And we're on the 4-hour?
4-hour. Yes, ma'am.
And it also hit, you know, back beyond the, what is that, the MW? I'm not even
Come
sure.
back here.
Nope, back to the right a little bit, where it hit the bottom of that other candle, the red candle, where
Right.
it changed direction. Nope, back to the left one.
Keep going.
Yep, keep going to the left. Right there.
Okay. Yeah.
And it also changed direction there.
Yep. So then I want to do the same for my support. You can have chosen this here, but it's already there, and this is a moving chart. So I would go here. If you want extra security, you could go here. Because as you can see, the M's are playing pretty much in this, what they call zone. It's basically zone trading. So you're playing within this zone, but you don't use this typically because that's considered the past, even though this is only a 4-hour candle. It's considered the past. So you want what's going on right now. You want to see it better with what's going on right now. So I just look at the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart is strictly for momentum. You don't drop a fib on that. So I would put in my little box, I put 4-hour momentum. And I believe this was bullish. Yeah. And I just label it like that for my 4-hour chart.
Okay.
Then after your 4-hour chart, you come down to your 1-hour chart. And you're going to kind of repeat the process over and over again for these particular ones. So on the 1-hour chart, we use our 1-hour chart for our take profit and stop loss.
Okay.
And then I just grab my line, orange, because we're going in order. And I would come here. And up here. And then this chart does get a fib, and it's in a buying status. So I go from the bottom to the top. So I go from my support to my resistance. And because this one gets a fib, I mark everything on that line.
So you mark the, I don't remember what the number is, 0.31 something?
382.
382. So you put a a dash line on the 382 line, and then you take the fib off.
Yes. Yeah, because if you leave it on there and you're marking several charts, several time frames with that fib, you're going to have 3 or 4 fibs left on your screen. So this is our take profit and our stop loss. Our 0.382 is 0.70852, and it's also bullish. So then after I've gotten that, then I go to my 15-minute chart.
Mm-hmm.
And then with TradingView, it's nice because you can come over here and on the side, hold your click your mouse, and you can stretch it, and then you can see it'll open up for you, and that also can help you see your change in direction as well.
Okay.
So we grab our horizontal line, the 15-minute charts in yellow, and doing the exact same work. Grab your fib because you're still bullish, so we're going to go from the bottom to the top.
Mm-hmm.
Grab your horizontal line, make it dashed. Yellow. And your 15-minute chart is your entry.
Okay.
Our 0.382 is 0.7178, and it is also bullish. Okay. So once I have my entry established, what I'm looking for next is my test and my retest. So what I do is I draw a box, and I try to color coordinate everything. So what I'm looking for when I look at my 0.382 on my 15-minute chart for my entry, I look for 3 blue candles above the 0.382. So I have one here. And then I look, this is where I would go back into the past. So I'm looking to see, do I have another set of 3 somewhere on my 0.382? So and I have that right here. I have a body, and a body. Not a wick, but a body.
Mm-hmm.
So then I draw a box there to show me that. So is there a break in between these 3 blue and these 3 blue? Well, yeah, I have 3 red down here. So I mark that as well. And 3 red there. That's not staying.
Why did you pick the 3 red that you did?
Because it's 3 underneath the candle, underneath the 0.382.
Okay.
So
I got you.
Yeah. So what I'm looking at, mark the other blue one.
So you're looking for the blue to be above the 0.38 and the red to be below. Okay.
So if we were in a situation where we only was about right here. So these 2 red candles, and I marked these 3. So this is my test. I have my first 3 above. So what I'm looking for is for the market to come back, touch somewhere along this 0.382, and then go back for another 3 blue candles. So I come here, and this is my test, my first test. So I say active 1, and then I label it. So I'm waiting. So then I get these 3 red. So then I say pause 1, because this isn't ready, because now I have 3 red below.
Mm-hmm.
So we got pretty much wick, 2 bodies, but not really 3 to say that this is my retest. Come back, you have 3 right here. Now, the problem is that people will see 3 bodies and instantly get in on the trade. What I tell everybody, you want these to close, and you want this next candle to come in, and you want to watch to see what it does. It's 15 minutes. It's not going to hurt anybody to watch to see if this candle closes red or blue. Once this candle closes, continue into your direct. If it's continuing into your sell or continuing into your buy, then you take your trade. That's just giving you more security on the trade that you're about to take. So this candle closed blue. Is it called? Yeah. So they go together. So what this means for me is this one, this particular trade has now deactivated. So it's paused completely. I don't want it in all caps. Sorry. So I know I'm still looking for my retest. I just got these 2 right here. This one closed blue, so I'm still not in the trade. So once I get 3 here, a blue here, then on this, I put those 2 together. I put those 2 together. Now this one, this is purely, honestly, purely just so that you can come back to your chart and see what you have done. Because you can literally, I just said pause because the red paused that one, but literally the easiest way for you to do it is A2, so that you know that them 2 go together. So that you know that those 2 go together. And then when a red would have come in to deactivate this, you just put a P for paused and keep going, or end, END, like that. So now that I have this one and this one, this is no longer active. So I'm going to pause this one because I know not to look for a sale. I know now I'm on a buy.
What do you mean it's no longer active?
You're no longer looking for sales.
Okay.
So now I'm looking for a buy because I have 1, 2, 3, and then this one closed. So you're going to enter somewhere after this candle. So either after you've watched it for 5 minutes and it continued in your trend, you entered, or you waited to complete 15 minutes and you entered on the start of the next candle. Either or. But anytime after this 3rd candle closes, you watch and see how the next candle comes in. If it comes in your favor, you can take your trade. You can wait for that candle to close and then get on the next. Completely up to you. Once you practice it, you'll understand it, especially if it's a pair that you're solely researching and working with. You'll know how it moves and what it does. So now we're on a buy. We get this red candle. It comes back. It touches our entry, but it doesn't go below our entry. The next candle comes in. and it's a blue candle, continues on up. So you can set a trailing stop, or if you're a good student, you can set your take profit and stop loss. So this is a buy. So a buy on TradingView is considered a long position. Well, it's called a long position everywhere actually. So you can take your long position tool, drop it on your 0.382 for your entry, or wherever you entered at, and then you want to do 3-to-1 ratio. So you just shorten up the little red part because that's your stop loss.
Does it tell you 3-to-1?
But you want to get it close to 3 as possible by looking right here where it says risk to reward ratio. And
Okay.
you want to get that as close to 3 as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So this means if I was in this trade, I'm not willing to lose no more than whatever 0.71127 is. So if you're at 10 cent a pip, then you're only risking this amount of red. This is all you're risking to gain all of this green.
Mm-hmm.
So if you manually put in your stop loss, you will enter 0.71127 for your stop loss, and you would enter 0.71336 for your take profit. And then you just let your trade do its job. Now, if you have a trailing stop of 5 pips, then every 5 pips that you go into profit, your trailing stop will be behind 5 pips. So when you hit 6 pips, your trailing stop will go right here, and you'll have 1 pip of protected profit. It goes into 10 pips, then you will have 5 pips of protected profit, so on and so forth.
What designates the green area?
The green is your profit.
How do you know, well, let's see, I don't want to ask a stupid question. How do you know how high up?
Right here.
The green?
You got a green little bar with numbers right here.
Okay, I need to slide my screen. Like I said, I'm on my phone, so I didn't even see that up there.
Nope, you're fine.
Okay.
So you have that right here for your take profit, and then down here in red, you have your stop loss. And
Okay.
it matches to the bottom of the box.
Mm-hmm.
So you can kind of just hover over it, and you'll see those numbers at the very tip of the boxes, and you'll see the numbers.
Okay. At least I'll be able to do TradingView on my laptop.
Yeah, so that's why I was saying, at least with TradingView, this to help you out. And then you can mark everything up here, and then go back to your phone to execute your trades.
Mm-hmm.
So we have our test, we have our retest. Now we have a pause in our sale, because now we've come back to our 0.382, and we have 3 candles to the low. So you should have gotten out up here somewhere with your take profit or your trailing stop, whichever one.
Mm-hmm.
If not, when you probably saw like this indecision candle, and then you seen a red candle that closed with a flat bottom in Hikinashi, that means there is no more seller's volume. There's no wick there. The wick is at the bottom for Hikinashi. So that means the sellers are doing this. There's no buyers to be there. Buyers lost strength. So now you should have been out, at least, if not here, somewhere in this candle, definitely somewhere in this candle. So now you have 3 red candles to the bottom. So we're watching and we're waiting. We're going to mark this one is our A3. And then we're waiting to see if we get 3 more red candles to the bottom. That didn't happen. We got 2 bodies up top, 2 on the bottom, and now we have 3 right here. So it's kind of do the same thing all over again. You just market, because if we are sticking to our rules, we're waiting for our retest. So we're waiting for a retest either on the sell, or now we're waiting on a retest on the buy on our 15-minute chart.
Okay.
So the saying is no retest, no entry. So if you don't have your retest, you should not be in the trade. Does everybody follow that rule? Honestly, no, they don't. Because they're looking at, I could have got in here, took profit here. I can get in here, take profit here. So now I've just won 2 trades. That is true. I'm not going to deny it. It is true. You could have. Anybody with 2 eyeballs can see that. But at the same time, if I would have been like, okay, I'm getting in right here on this sell because I got my 3 bodies. Well, the sell didn't hold.
Right.
It reversed. And when it reversed, how many pips did it take? Let's say if I would have gotten in at the opening of this candle. So now I'm negative 11 pips. I'm negative 11 pips. And I gotta wait for it to come back down here. I mean, I'm not, honestly, at a 10 cent a pip, that's not bad. That's $1.10. But someone who's on a bigger lot size, 50 cent, $1 a pip, $10 a pip, that's not a lot of pips. And depending on the size of your account, that could be half of your account for some people.
Is a 0.1 $10 or?
No, a 0.1 is $1.
$1.
Yeah. So 0.1 is $1. A 0.09 is 90 cents, and so on and so forth all the way back.
Yeah.
And then once you get the number on the left-hand side of the decimal point, then that is $10. So a 1.0 is $10, 2.0, 20, and keep going.
I've done brave enough to do a $10, and that's about it. When Anthony and them first started trading gold, I did some gold and crashed my account like 2 or 3 times. And I said, nope, not doing gold ever again.
It's okay. It happens. When I first started, Anthony was the same way. He got in on gold, and gold took him for the ride of his life. Blew his account, and he was mad, and he said he didn't trade. He wasn't gonna ever trade gold again. That was his words a year and some change ago. Now
that's about when we were doing it.
So now he's back on gold and he's doing it. So, he's learned his lesson, and he's learned, I guess, some discipline towards it.
Yeah, I was bad with the gold, and I didn't put in stop loss. I didn't put in a take profit. We were just watching it, and it all of a sudden went boom, and we were all done.
Yeah. And it happens, especially come this Friday with NFP.
No, I'm not doing NFP again. I will say never on that.
Some people love NFP, so everybody is different. But
I love it on my demo account.
But
yeah, I did the same thing on NFP because I didn't even know what it was. I think Elvin told me about it. And I thought, what the heck happened? Oh my gosh. It went from in profit to like negative $75 in like the blink of an eye.
Yeah. Well, it took my entire account. I had just put $500 in, and I didn't even know about NFP, period. Like, never heard of it, didn't know what it was. And I didn't know what it was until maybe a week or 2 later, when the person who was trading with me that Friday was like, it's something called NFP, and we need to ask Anthony about that. And we was like, okay. So then we asked Anthony about it, and then that's when he told us, and we was like, well, we didn't know. And we thought it was just a normal trading day. And yeah.
You know, another thing that happened to my account, and none of us knew about it, didn't know what it was,